Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to Goetia. I'm sure about that one, by the way. I was really bloody unsure how to pronounce this one, so I actually held off recording it until after EGX Resd, because I knew Square Enix would be in attendance, so I was able to ask Square Enix themselves how you pronounce this game title, and they confirmed to me it is indeed Goetia, which is good, because I would have gone for Goetia, or possibly Goetia. It's slightly confusing. So yes, my understanding is this is basically a mystery game where you play as a ghost, which might sound slightly reminiscent of Murdered Soul Suspect. I bloody loved Murdered Soul Suspect, or at least I loved the idea of Murdered Soul Suspect. I love the idea of being a ghost who could kind of walk through walls and thus had ghosty advantages and trying to solve mysteries. Murdered Soul Suspect, however, had a few problems. The main problem being there wasn't really a mystery in Murdered Soul Suspect. You just found some vague bits of evidence dotted around a crime scene and the mystery solved itself. But I'm assured that this is much more complicated and puzzly and mystery in the style of old-fashioned adventure games. So this I'm looking forward to. And that, I think, is me. Is this a gravestone? And I think I can direct her. Yeah, there we are. So Amanda, my little ghost friend, I actually direct her by clicking. I can't see myself. There's no one here. Am I? No. This isn't right. Something's wrong. Think Abigail. Oh no, she's called Abigail. Sorry, I thought she was called Amanda. She's called Abigail. I know this tree. I'm outside the manor. I just need to think. No, this is wrong. I need to find help. Father? Mother? Annie? Okay, so Abigail writes down all her thoughts in her journal. Each time this notebook icon appears, you can see her latest ideas regarding recent events. Perhaps they'll reveal some hints about her next goal. So J to open the journal. Fine. So the awakening. I'm Abigail Blackwood, daughter of Abraham and Helena Blackwood, and Annie's sister. To be honest, that's all I remember after the fall and my final scream. I don't really understand what I am or what's happening. I need to find help. I need to find my family. Well, fortunately, I'm here in detective puzzle mode, and you are a ghost. So at this point, you don't even need to click. Abigail just sort of follows your kind of pointer around the screen. So we're going to the moon, Abigail! Huzzah, hooray for the moon. No, you can't do anything with the moon. But can I do anything with this here? Raven, can you interact with the raven? Hello? No, but if I go over to the tombstone, I can get this little icon here. So I can do one of three things, but I can only do one of them. Look, Abigail Blackwood, 1890 to 1902. Well, at least that makes things clear now. Oh, good. So I was 12 years old. 12 years old when I died at the very beginning of the 20th century. Let's go over to the edge of the map. There we go. Oh, blimey. Abigail, calm bloody down. By holding control, you can highlight every noticeable element in the scene. A magnifying glass will appear. Oh, okay, that's quite useful. So let's have a look at the statue then. Again, I can only look at it. That's strange. There's a hexagonal shape carved out of the pedestal, as if something had been taken out. I don't think I saw that. Oh, bloody hell, it's the mansion from Resident Evil. So let's look at the gate. The gate is closed and covered in rust. Ah, so potentially we're not in 1902 anymore. It might be a lot further in the future. Let's have a look-see. How can I open it? Unless maybe I could go through it. Yep, you can, because you're a ghost. We figured this out. Come on. There you go. Straight on through. Blackwood Manor, just like in my memories. I was born and died here? I remember this window. That's where I fell. It was cold, and I'm guessing you were pushed, Abigail. I'm just going to put that out there. So what have we got here? We've got a tree. No leaves on that tree. We're still in winter, but I don't feel cold. Well, that's because, well, you don't really just not have a body. You also don't have a anything. Actually, you are just a little ball of wibbly light. So Abigail's progress is displayed in real time on the map. The map will show you which rooms you've entered and those that are still out of reach. Be sure to check it I'm a ghost! How many rooms could possibly be out of reach unless the family invested in anti-ghost protection in the late 19th century? Anyway, like I was saying, tab opens up a map. Ooh, okay, so cellars and towers and stuff in Blackwood Manor, and I'm guessing there will potentially be other places that I can go and visit given there's little arrows there, but I've only got Blackwood Manor itself for now, and I can teleport to an area if it's coloured in yellow. So can I presumably teleport to this one? Yes, okay, so I would have just teleported here if I weren't already here. Alright, nice. So we've looked at the tree already. What else have we got in here? We've got a window, which I can look at. A light. Maybe there's someone there who can help me. Well, I doubt it. If they can even see you, they'll probably be a bit scared, to be honest. And then over here. How do I get in? Going through the gate was easy, but such not... It's a door! Just go through the door. Oh, can we... Oh, yes, we can. Good. Excellent. Impossible. It's terrifying, but rather handy. Okay, so we're now in Blackwood Manor. We can just move around as before. So you've kind of just got the hallway here. And then presumably we can go straight up as well. Is there anything to stop us just going straight through the bloody ceiling? Somebody's drawn some symbols here. Does this have anything to do with demonology? Oh, no. You never want to be in a house where your father studies demonology. That's just going to go badly. I can't work out which demons these symbols represent. I really need help. Okay, so there's something... Oh, no, I can just go straight through the ceiling. That's cool. So let's have a look at these portraits, see if we can figure anything out from these. So this portrait here, who's this? I don't know. Although is the portrait just a bit blurry and dusty? Or actually, has someone scribbled the mouth of that woman, potentially? Okay, so downstairs, see what else we can figure out here. Just make sure we've invested. Ooh, blimey, lots of stuff. My grandparents used to hunt deer in the woods on the manor grounds. Good evening, Jack, Rufus, Ted, and Molly. Okay, hunting is one thing. Naming the skulls of your fallen enemies, that's another. Damaged tableware. The manor seems abandoned. I don't understand. Well, okay, presumably we are therefore in the future in some capacity. A thing. I can open doors for some reason. And then look here. Who could have drawn this map? The names remind me of Father's studies, but he would never have taken this document out of his office. What on earth am I looking at here? So a little map here, presumably showing the rooms, but the areas are divided into sections that presumably have something to do with the demonology that we just noted. Okay, this is probably an important map to try and remember. But on the other hand, the candles are lit. There must be someone around. That's true. There must be someone around because the candles are indeed lit. Now, she just said something about the study, didn't she? Hang on, go back to this map. Go back and look at this map again. So, the office. And it looks like the office is directly to the right of where we've started. And, wait a minute. So this is the hallway down there that we're in the bottom left. And then, according to this, the territory of the demon Paimon, which in all fairness sounds like Nintendo have just invented a new Pokemon that's a pie, which given there's already a Pokemon that's ice cream and a Pokemon that's candy floss, I can believe they do that. But that's marked as yellow up here. But if we go over to our map, yellow can't be passed through. So I need to do something related to the demon studies because I can't go into that area controlled by the demon. Does the game tell me why? Let's go up here and then, okay, ooh. These walls clearly don't want anything to go through them. Is there a way to get through? I'm guessing there will be, but for now, I cannot. So to start off with, there's only a small number of rooms I can actually get to. And would you believe, one room down there at the bottom has been clearly circled and scrawled over. Let's see what we've got then. So we can go directly up a little bit or right. Well, standard video game logic says if there's one way which I know isn't the way I'm supposed to go, that's the way you go first. So let's head up top here and figure out what's up through this room. So through the ceiling and into the next room. And then this room will probably all be kind of blocked off. It was here. I fell out of this window. It was an accident, but I clearly remember falling here. Okay, so could one of these go? No, they're too old. I was only 12 years old. That looks older than 12. And then this is all blocked off. And this is all blocked off. Okay, so I can't go any further here, but this is the site where I died for now. Until I can get through yellow, I can't go any further that way. So instead, we need to go down this way to my father's office. And the first, there's a few bits and pieces dotted around. A hole. Everything's so dilapidated. Indeed, it seems to be. And I don't recognise this chair. Yeah, we're definitely in the future. We're not in 1902. Here we go. A book laid out. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. But something in the margin says property of Alexander Hodgkin. That name's new to me. So whoever's lighting these candles and has laid these clothes out neatly, apparently, is possibly Alexander Hodgkin. Right, through to what I think is, Father's office, his safe haven, the place where he did all his experiments, esoteric or otherwise. I like this place. If Father's at the manor, this is where I'll find him. But can people see me? I won't be able to talk to him. And what will he do if he somehow recognises me? Everything's so inconsistent, different but also similar. Maybe I should find some more hints about what's going on before I see him. Ah, okay. So the one place I can go, therefore, is up. I could go straight up into the next room up. Apparently the game wants me to learn a little bit more first. Oh, and a couple of things are clearly glimmering away. That presumably means they're very, very important indeed. One of Father's most disconcerting hobbies, collecting keys for which there is no keyhole. That is indeed a little bit odd. Aha, I found a newspaper. I never really liked newspapers. Wait, 2nd of February 1941. It's been 39 years. It's impossible. This is a... Oh, I'm sorry. You've woken up and you're dead and you're a ghost and your home's in ruins, but the fact that 39 years have passed is apparently the nightmarish thing. Sort out your priorities, Abigail. I've never seen this dresser open. Well, there is keys right here, including one that I notice is kind of a different colour. Can we grab a key? Ooh. Thing. Hello. Why would anyone hide the Virgin Mary behind lock and key? I don't know. But ooh, hello. Ooh. Now I am the Virgin Mary. Abigail just possessed an object. She is now able to move it, use it, or combine it with another. On the one hand, as an object, Abigail gains a foothold in the world of the living and has to accept its rules. No object can cross a wall, or right-click to leave an object. Okay, so now I'm just a flying Virgin Mary. Now this would freak some people out. So what's going on over here? There's something behind the Virgin Mary. Ah, a switch. And that's opened that up. So now, can we just abandon the Virgin Mary? There we are. I just leave the Virgin Mary. She drops to the ground. And we've now got an important document. So some accounting, invoices, deeds of property. Okay, and what's this? Ah! Is this actually my death certificate? No, this is my father's death certificate. A death in the sub-district of Coventry North East, in the Metropolitan Borough of Coventry. Ah, Coventry. Not the nicest bit of Britain in some ways, but so in 1939 in Oakmarsh, Abraham Edward Christopher Blackwood, my father, who was aged 76 at the time and was a professor of literature, died of lung cancer. And yep, just some documentation, signatures, and yep, just a death certificate. So, okay, so my father is already dead. I feel like Abigail is not going to take this well. So, a death certificate with father's name on it. It's impossible, I can't believe it. He was 76. But how? What happened to me? What about mother and Annie? 1939. My last memories date back to 1902. This must be a bad dream. Abigail, get with the program, alright? So much of this doesn't make sense. I need to understand what's going on. Father's laboratory. He must have taken notes. Maybe his research can help me. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. But first, there were a couple of documents that were kind of floating and flashing around here. These strike me as important. Ooh, blimey. So we've got a note here that's... What is this? Symbols. A gravestone? Symbols. Right. Remember that's there. I suspect we'll have to come back to that and it'll make a little bit more sense later. And another one here. There's a note hidden between the pages. The handwriting's rather clumsy. It doesn't look much different from mine. Must have been written by a child. Ah, my sister Annie, perhaps. So the book is obviously Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Edward, Alexander and I sneaked into Father's laboratory and we found something interesting. There's this weird powder. I'll show you how it reveals hidden writings. Know this, you just have to pour the powder onto a paper to reveal the ink. Alexander told me to keep some of it. Now we can start writing coded messages. So Alexander will presumably be Alexander Hodgkin, the person who potentially moved into the mansion in the 2 years between my father's death and now, but who's Edward? We've not heard of an Edward, we've not heard of an R before now. So Edward, Alexander, and R. Alexander presumably, yeah, Hodgkin, but we don't know anything else about that yet anyway. So everything else is covered by the protection, so I'm guessing that means the only place I can go now is indeed Father's laboratory. The game will let me in there now. Indeed, in we go. Father's old office lab thing. And a bunch of books glimmering away that means they're important. So these books seem important and they're well worn. So what have we got here then? So this book is the story of alchemy, a man who was an alchemist but not desperately a good one. He just read about experiments in a book and repeated them, but he wasn't actually that clever himself, who summoned a demon named Belith because he wanted to gain the love of a woman. But unfortunately Belith betrayed him and he never actually got to be with the woman he wanted to end up with. There's an interesting thing, the lesson at the end of the story there in the final paragraph: never take what you read or see at face value. That includes anything and everything that I write you. Why do we have the feeling that that powder that reveals secret writing, if I were to use it on this book, might reveal something right here at the bottom of this page? Why am I getting that feeling? That's what I'm sensing here. So a journal on his desk. Writing a journal had never interested me up to now, but these past few days I felt the need for it. All of these things are crowding my mind and I can rarely sleep. I found Father's precious notes today. Oh, so this might be Annie, or it might be me. Actually, it's unlikely to be me because I died when I was 12. It's unlikely that I would have, read all of my father's notes and understood them, but this could have been a more grown-up Annie, potentially. I discovered what took up all his time: an incredible collection of documents, vague references and crazy writings about demons and seals, names I know nothing about, enigmatic symbols, drawings, a huge number of documents that he used to share with my sweet Abigail an eternity ago. Oh. Interesting. My first instinct was to close this box and put it back where I found it, but curiosity is consuming me. A few days later, on the 24th of March, that we don't know what year, I'm avidly reading Father's documents and I'm starting to make sense out of them. Maybe he wasn't as mad as his isolation let on. What I took for a time-consuming hobby was actually an in-depth study of an ancient cult named Goetia. The idea of it still seems crazy, and maybe it is. Goetia was used to call forth demons to ask questions or favours of them. A very human tradition, but these summonings seem to have been possible. Father seemed interested in 5 of these demons: Malphas, Boone, Paimon, Foras, and Neberius. Okay, and obviously we recognise that first symbol. It was in the note that was scribbled upstairs in that other journal. These notes are very detailed about rituals, formulas, personalities of each entity, strengths and weaknesses. I have difficulty believing they really exist. However, Father's studies are so thorough and precise, I'm beginning to have doubts. So, skip forward a few more weeks. Curiosity is guiding me towards knowledge. I tried some of the rituals this past week. I'm happy I can isolate myself, as I feel somewhat ridiculous saying out loud the summoning words taken from a strange language. I have no success yet. This quest is consuming me. I spend entire days writing down the questions I want to ask the demons, as well as behaviours and words I should avoid in their presence. I chose Malphas. He seems to be the less deranged of the demons among those I read about, and I hope he is not so dangerous, but he doesn't seem to hear me. I'm growing desperate. War is coming. I can feel it. The people of Oakmarsh are different, nervous. The enemy is far from our front door, however, and I can't stop but feeling they are reacting strangely to my own presence. I couldn't explain this feeling. Okay, so we're, could be coming up on the First World War or the Second World War. Skip forward a couple of months. I feel feverish, confused, I can't sleep, I can't believe it. Malphas answered. I first perceived an indescribable noise, as if a huge hammer was hitting the walls around me. Then a wind filled the room, coming from under the doors. I swear I heard the rustle of feathers, as if thousands of birds were flying around the room when he started speaking to me. I froze, too stunned to utter a single word. Malphas is a particularly charismatic demon. My first thoughts went to my beloved sister. Abigail would have been so impressed, astonished, moved. I asked the questions I craved answers for. Was Abigail with him? Could he find her? He laughed. Malphas has a very charming laugh, very soft. He told me he couldn't bring her back, but that she was well. I should feel calm, but my thirst for answers isn't calmed. So yes, this definitely must be Annie, because even if my parents had another child after I died, that child would never have known me, so this must be Annie. Malphas and I are growing to know each other. It feels so strange to write it thus, and even more strange to live it. The demon is particularly caring, and I sometimes forget he is an entity by far superior to us poor humans. It seems I'm for him a welcome distraction. He has had little occasion to talk with the living these past 5 millennia. I sometimes think of my dear Joseph, and feel a guilty relief that he should no longer be of this world. If Father was still alive, my research and my success would have surely filled him with pride. Oh, so we're post-1939. These notes were presumably written in 1939, 1940, or 1941, depending on the date. I need to double check the date on the newspaper and the date on the death certificate to know whether these dates, the 22nd of July, could have fallen on 39 or 41. But I'll assume for now we're in 1940, and the war that is coming is the Second World War. Wait, hang on. 1940? The war's already started, Annie! Maybe they mean insofar as, Dunkirk, the Battle of Britain, that sort of thing. And Abigail, who often mocked my terror when faced with father's experiments. Could she only see me today? Would you be proud of your older sister? I keep my research far from my children's reach. They are too young to understand what is at stake, but maybe I can start talking about it with Gabriel. I'm looking forward to sharing my knowledge of the rituals tied to Goetia, but maybe they suspect something. Alexander seems weary lately. Okay, so yes, obviously she aged a bit, and her husband, by the sounds of it, had already passed away. She inherited the house and lived here alone, but with her children. Her children, presumably, including Alexander and Gabriel. But who was R in that case? Who was R that was on the letter upstairs? Fine, keep in mind all of these people. And they're here. October 1940 or 41. They started bombing London yesterday. Ooh, I'm not sure what date the bombing of London began. I would guess 40 odd, so we're probably in 1940 here. And on the 20th of October, Annie exchanged words with Elias the pastor. Okay, so she shared the research with a pastor, and he told me he had been waiting for this day impatiently. Who else than me could know so much on the subject? The pastor offered me his help. How could a man of God conduct such research trying to call forth demons? I think I'll accept his offer. Okay, so Elias the pastor joined up with Annie late on, and they decided to research things together. Skip forward a few weeks, and Oakmarsh is now empty. I have a ghost town at my door. Goetia isn't a discreet art, and I suppose the last rituals convinced the bravest of them to leave their home. Let them go. I don't need their idiotic prejudices. Okay, so you can kind of tell Annie's slowly been getting more and more obsessed with this. She's starting to lose it a little bit. When my own enemies will be at our doors, at least I'll have something to welcome them with. Gabriel, my sweet Gabriel, I was sure you'd understand. I love you so much. Robert, Edward, I hope you'll understand the importance of this quest. Okay, so she told Gabriel, her son, and he didn't understand. And maybe he left and took Robert and Edward too. But who was Alexander Hodgkin in that case? Into December, there's no hope left. I won't be here when these disgusting invaders arrive, but let them try and get close to my children. They will regret it. Come and colonise Oakmarsh. See what I care. None of these short-sighted villagers supported me when I needed it. They don't deserve to be remembered. But if they come inside Blackwood Manor, I will rain down hell on them. Okay, so yeah, Annie completely lost it into the new year. Thank you, Anton Elias, pastor, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. So the pastor continued to help her do something. Everything will soon be ready. I won't be here to see the world crumble. You don't look as arrogant and mocking as before, Malphas. Don't worry, I'm not without a heart. You won't be alone. A few friends will join you. The spell is sealed. Abigail, wait for me, please. Hear me. Heed my call. Okay, so potentially this could explain what's going on with all of these barriers. If there's barriers here, she either potentially locked the demons away within these spaces, this is where they're sealed, or these are barriers to try and keep the house secure so no one else could ever penetrate it. These are magical barriers to keep the house safe under all circumstances, to protect her children, who, when she started working on the barriers, were within the house, from the risk of Nazi invasion. Possible? I'm not sure. Now, this shelf here, we've got a couple of things we can do here. I might be somewhat altered, but even so, there's no way I can read that book without finding a way to get it off the showcase. Well, that's fine. I will just become the cupboard. Oh, the showcase is locked. I can't get this off the bookshelf. Well, is there anything I could use to smash it or something? Not that I can see. And remember, it was the room kind of underneath this one that was scrawled and circled on that little map that I saw. This was the room I was supposed to be finding eventually. This box contains some kind of white powder. We know what this is. It reveals secrets. So go in here, and I have become the white powder. A hollowed skull, one of Mother's eccentricities. I suppose it must have come from the upstairs library. Oh, blimey. So my father collected keys for which there was no keyhole. My mother collected hollowed out skulls. I come from an odd family. Is this door open? Am I not allowed to take the... Am I allowed to take this? Yes! This door was actually open. So I can actually therefore take this because it's a door, not a ceiling. I couldn't take this upstairs or downstairs, but I can take it through here. Now, £10 says I can put this powder in this book. Come on, I know it. No, nothing as far as I can tell. Alright, fine, I may need to check the other books. Well, I checked out the rest of the house and checked every book, and none of them seem to reveal any secret messages from this white powder, but it must be used for something, so I should take it with me. So upstairs, there's something through here. What's upstairs through this room? Ooh, hello. Uh-oh. Why do I get the feeling I'm about to meet Malphas? And it's just like I'm playing Hatofu Boyfriend all over again. Good evening, young lady. And who exactly... It's pretty sure it's Malphas. There's only so many people who are giant birds inside the demon house. Oh, come now, you wound me. We are already acquainted. Of course, it was some time ago, and you may not have even seen that I was there. I am one of the kind your father did so love to talk about. Even if he elected not to teach you much about me in particular, my current form, shall we say, should be something of a hint. And you're one of the demons that father was studying, a raven. You must be... A white raven? Alright, fine, a white raven, whatever. You must be Malphas, but demons don't exist. It was just... You read the book, alright? Annie believed in this. You should too, Abigail. I suppose you must be right. After all, that would be simply absurd. Not unlike believing in ghosts, perhaps. Ooh, burn, sick burn from Malphas. I do recall that I was summoned, but in a most unusual way. Annie, she called me, and we chirped for a time. But she deceived me and trapped me within these walls. Okay, so that's what the magical barriers are for. Each one is where one of the demons is actually trapped. She trapped them away. All I know is that some part of me remained in the cosy confines of hell, while the remainder, well, is the manor itself, or something like that. So why are you preventing me from going any further, Malphas? Or, well, I don't think it's his barrier, it's Annie's, isn't it? I'm doing nothing of the sort, or rather... not consciously. You see, my girl, we are both pure spirits here, and it seems that our essences cannot collaborate, shall we say. Look, if you want to ask me out for dinner and drinks, just do it, Malphas. I promise you, I would simply love for you to proceed. I dare say that you are the only one who can free me. And the sigil on the ceiling. My sigil is not complete in this form. It cannot be seen by man, much to my immense sorrow. The sigil you'll see only represents half of my being, part that remains in hell. There is another sigil. In fact, it is the opposite of this one. It represents the part of me that is trapped here among the living. Should you manage to find and decipher it, I will be free to leave this world. Is that good? And if I do this, what do I get in return? I knew you wanted something after all. Exposed, yes, and it seems we both need each other. I expect that I can rely on you. You have blackwood blood running through your veins after all, if you'll pardon the expression. Yeah, but what do I get out of this? What exactly do I get if I decide to help you, terrifying, mischievous demon who my own sister decided to lock away? Ah, I see. The very end of the introduction, the awakening, Malphas claims that the opposite sigil will free him and his fellow demons. I don't really trust him, but this is the only way to get answers and find Annie. So I need to get hold of Annie, who may or may not be dead. I'm not sure. And there's a different one. That's the symbol for Foras, I believe, right there. So I can't get through here. That is indeed, yep, forest right there. So let's head down here. And then we've got a huge number of pictures right here. Annie Hodgkin, November 19th. Ah! Okay, so Annie married Alexander Hodgkin. Alexander Hodgkin, however, died at some point, and they had multiple children. So Annie Hodgkin, Annie is a grown-up. I still recognise her, though. This would presumably be Alexander Hodgkin right here. No! Gabriel Hodgkin, 31 years old, her eldest son, the one who she talked to about the rituals, but who was not keen on the fact. This would then be Robert Hodgkin, 1940, 14 years old. Okay. And then who are you? Ah! Alexander Hodgkin? Oh, I thought that was her husband. No, it must not be. 28 in 1939... Then Gabriel was 31 in 1939. And she was, it doesn't say, but I can reasonably assume that as she was my sister and she was born, she would have been... Wait, hang on a minute. Oh, I guess if she started having children relatively young, and I don't know how old she was when I died, when I was 12 in... Yeah, if I was 12 in 1902, I don't know how old Annie was. I mean, she broadly looks there, maybe, I don't know, in her 40s or 50s. So this kind of stacks up. Through to the next room. The flipping bird room. The heck is this room? Wardrobe, not really my style. And a little notebook. Ah, okay. Investigate the little notebook. Some of its pages have been torn away. Perhaps they're still around somewhere. There's a bird statue here. 4 wooden spheres ornated the front of this box. A word is written on each. An original ornament for such a box. What? Hello? Oh. Letters. So 4 little spheres that rotate, and each of them has 4 letters on them. Because they can be turned with a letter on each 90 degree. But what is... But why? What does it mean? John! I can write John. I've decided John is the answer to this puzzle. Okay. This bird here, this bronze statue is superb. Is it an eagle or a falcon? DTS count. Well, what if it's not any of those things? What if it was, say, a hawk? Is that an option? No, there aren't the letters to make hawk here. Darn, I thought there might be the letters to make dove. But no, it's not a dove, is it? What is that thing? A kestrel? Some form of bird of prey? I'm not sure. It can't be raven, because that wouldn't fit. Okay, come back to that puzzle later. I think we're going outside the back of the building at this point, aren't we? Yes! We're now outside the very back of the building. And what is this over here? I should stay in the manor. I can't imagine who would be out wandering the woods right now. Okay, so there's the next level out in that direction. So a little switch there opens up this little cubby hole right here. This little kind of little elevator thing. Ah, could I use this to get the white powder upstairs? Let's just get out of here for the minute. Yep, that gets out of there. Can I do this? Alright, well I've sent the powder upstairs to a room I can't get to yet, I don't think. But yeah, we'll have to go get that later. I suspect we'll need that later because I can't take the powder downstairs anyway. I need to go down through the floor at this point. That's where the game was indicating I was supposed to go. Ah, the kitchen. Ooh! Okay, so I sent the powder downstairs with me. Now that's got to be part of the puzzle then. To get an item downstairs. I haven't really found much I can kind of inhabit other than the Virgin Mary or this white powder. So I'm guessing it's going to be this. Ooh, hello. In the fireplace. Torn up letter. Right, okay. Let's reconstruct the letter. Okay, and final piece. Nice and easy. Should have torn it up a bit better, shouldn't ya? My young brother, it's been a while since I haven't put your keen mind to the test. How would you feel about a paper chase? First clue, chariot. Happy hunting, Robert. So Robert, one of Annie's children, began a quiz for one of the others. The youngest is it Edward who's the youngest? I think Edward's the youngest. And the first clue in a paper chase was chariot. Chariot. Okay. Inhabit the box of white powder again, because then I have an actual physical presence in the world, which can be useful. Ah, here we go. There's a sheet of paper on the wall, but why is it blank? Yes. And there we go. The eldest's birth. The eldest's birth has been highlighted. Well, that's relatively easy for me to figure out. I can figure out what the birth of the eldest child is. So if we just leave the powder here for a second. The eldest child was Gabriel, I believe. So, Gabriel Hodgkin, who was 31 in 1939. Let's just double check on that. Yes, it was indeed. Gabriel Hodgkin was the eldest. He was 31 in 1939, which means that his birth year would have been 1908. So 1908 is, for some reason, important and was written as a clue here. And I now know what that means. The elder's birth, which happened in 1908. Okay? Something's preventing me from going any further. It must have to do with those strange metal sheets bolted to the wall. There's a combination lock on the door. I know exactly what the combination lock is going to be, but can I actually change it, or do I? Oh yes, I am allowed to change it, even though I'm not actually interacting with something at the moment. So, 1908. I know exactly how to solve this. Kaboom! I feel like I should have been able to just go through this wall anyway. I am a bloody ghost, but solved the puzzle. In we go. And oh, blimey. I can't say I'm disappointed, but it's not what I expected. Where do those lights come from? And why do I get the feeling that those letters might just be the answer to the puzzle upstairs with the balls underneath the falcon creature? Now, is there anything else in here? No, this is just a single... Well, I will be able to go through here later, but I can't just yet. Because, yeah, the walls are all secured and there's nothing further down south. So, this just says... Oh, A for Alexander, E for Edward, G for Gabriel, R for the children. Of course. Of course it would be. So, yeah. So, A-G-E-R... for the children, which probably would have been the easy solution to the eagle puzzle earlier. So look here. My dear Alexander, I know you disapprove of all this. You have made that perfectly clear these past few days. Forgive me, my dear child, but I must see this to the end. Our family has suffered too much. I hope you'll find it in you to forgive me for what I did, wherever you are now. I'm sure you are happy where you are now. Your loving mother, Annie. Okay, so the children definitely were not that keen on the idea. We know that both Alexander and Gabriel were not happy. But Annie, my God, what happened here? What have you done? Oh, uh-oh. Oh, dear. Is the house stable? Father, mother, please, I'm begging you, come back. A noise. Is someone here? I think it came from the hall. Ooh, a thing happened. But first, there's another mystery... Oh, no, I can't look at the mystery door because I'm not allowed through this area. Right, back out this way. And back upstairs. And then before we go check out the hall, don't forget we may just be able to solve the little kind of the hawk the eagle puzzle right now. No, it's not. Because the third ball, none of them, there's no A, no E, no G, or no R. So it can't, that's not the answer. Okay, I still don't know what the answer to the eagle ball puzzle is. Okay, so I'm in the hall like the game said. Do I need to step outside for a second? Figure out who was there? No, no one's outside. The crocker is broken. It didn't fall by itself. Ah, there's something on this shelf. Have we just discovered something new? Ah, a thing. Ooh, a hexagonal thing. Hexagonal thing. Okay, yeah, the pedestal outside, absolutely. So, someone came in here, but we now don't know who that was. Because I haven't found them. I checked all the rooms and there's no one there. So now we have to... Oh, the door's locked. Wait, upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. If I could find my way up to the, yeah, if I could find my way... Oh, darn. I need to find a way to get this thing outside. There's an open window that I fell through. If I could get through to that... I thought there was... Yeah, there must be a way to get upstairs to the floor. Because up here... Yeah, where's the... Oh, this must be a door. There must be a door into this staircase up here. Because I know there's an open window right there. Okay. So I don't need to get this thing outside somehow. Aha! That little hole that I saw earlier, I could go through it. And with that, I'm going through a little tunnel or something. Beautiful, and this will hopefully lead me outside the house, right? Nice! Okay, the manor seems a little more alive than I'd like. Well, it is full of demons. So now presumably I can just fly straight over the top of the thing, or just go through it. I can just fit through the bars. Now insert this into here. Slot myself in. It fits perfectly. And opens up a secret trapdoor downwards. Always like a secret trapdoor downwards. And now I'm in... Oh, yeah, this is proper Resident Evil. Little kind of catacombs and creepiness and candles in some caves that have been tunneled out under the mansion. Good old Spencer Mansion. So now I've teleported myself... Oh, I'm off the grid. I'm off the grid right now. I assumed I was like going to be like in like that building there, but no. I'm completely off everything right now. A key, of course. Now let's find the lock that it opens. Let's inhabit the key. Okay, I am now a key. Head back up, having taken this. Yeah, there's nothing else here. There's just two things in this little kind of burial spot. That's got me a key. I'm guessing I can open up the front door using that, right? And the key is too small for the manor's massive doors. Must open some furniture then. Okay, well, but how am I going to get in? The door's locked. Oh, if I go up, there's the window, right? I can go up through here. Yeah, open window. So in which case, what do I do? This is all blocked off. Ah, interestingly, the key was allowed to go down through the ceiling, but not back up again. I'm not sure what that is, if it's like a very small object, it's allowed to just go through a crack in the floor or something. But yes, I've managed to get back into the house using key like this. So now I just need to find a locked thing, a piece of furniture it suggested, I'd be able to open using this key. What have I seen or passed that's been locked? Ah, the cupboard up here. Yes, that we passed ages ago. Crack open this cupboard, and now we've got this book that we couldn't get to before. So, malphas. We know this. Ah, the opposite seal, the banishment of malphas. So we know what the seal is up here. And then this other seal, this kind of, what's it called, like an axe on a big banner or something, is, yeah, just that. Malphas is, I can't see because I'm not actually allowed to move this note out of the way, never mind. So yes, okay, we now know what the opposite sigil for banishment of malphas is. Malphas wants to be banished. I guess I want to banish him because that would open up a load of new rooms as well. And then, the other ones. Has Farrah's got his man bits hanging out there? He might be. But well, that's quite the discovery, young lady. Do remember this sigil. Try to memorise its every relief. This will be crucial when you try to chase me out of these walls. Okay. And because we've got that, Malphas's opposite sigil has been revealed. Every room once blocked by his presence is now accessible. That's nice. And there's the implication I need to remember every detail of this little sign at the bottom, because I'm going to need it. So, it's like a banner hanging from a trumpet, with an hourglass and a line in the middle of it. A little, like, atomy symbol at the top, and then, oh, bloody hell. Alright, I can remember that. I'm going to forget that. But I can remember that. It's going to be fine. So let's see what we've got down in the basement now, because that's opened up a whole bunch of stuff down in the very basement. Ooh, brilliant. I never doubted you. Remember, you must memorise each opposite sigil and the method to activate them. You'll do that in remembrance of me, won't you? Wait, how to activate them? I don't know how you activate it. Now, I can't find any specific information in the book about how to activate it. I may need to do some more research here. So we're down in the basement. I remember these bottles. They must have been here for a long time. So we're in a wine cellar at the moment. We'll keep going down into the very lowest basement here. Aha! A mysterious secret entrance by turning this thing. Good. So the map actually says there is nothing off to the right of this room. But there clearly is. Secret room. Oh, blimey. Hello. Portraits. Has the map now been updated by any chance? No, I'm just off the map right now. There's nothing here, technically. Could this possibly be an Easter egg room where these are actually some of the devs? Like, that face in particular doesn't look like that belongs in, like, the early 1940s or early. These feel like modern faces. I think this might just be an Easter egg room with the developers on it. I think this game might have been kickstarted when it originally got started, and I suspect these here may be some of the higher tier backers that I've just found. Yes, I think this might be a bonus room with the Kickstarter backers in there, so thank you, these guys. I'm enjoying this game. And I didn't know the manor had a cellar. It doesn't seem new, though. Indeed, it does not. This room is... The mechanism's cables go down as well. Each clue takes me deeper underground. What am I going to find down there? Indeed, we're just going deeper and deeper. And, ooh, hello. What? That's my portrait. And all these candles. It's like a mausoleum. I don't feel at ease here. Right, so that was me. Are these flowers fresh? They're my favourite, even like this, withered and dull. Okay, so Annie was the only one who knew how much I liked them. So Annie came down here and put fresh flowers, but she's gone now, possibly dead. So no chain, no picture inside either. This pendant looks so lonely. Its shape is quite unusual. Can I do something with it? I can become it! Excellent. I shall probably take this pendant with me. It feels like it's, you know, relevant. So, well, let's keep on heading down. Figure out if this is where I was... Oh, the Fields of Stone. The Fields of Stone. All right, so this is a flipping different level. We're into a new environment here, are we? Yeah, we're into a deep underground thing here. Fields of stone, and I have no idea what this... okay, so this is the second area. So I have no idea what the Fields of Stone is yet. I feel like I might be getting slightly ahead of myself here. But let's see if we can get a bit of advice at least. Oh, blimey. Okay, let's leave this for now. I've definitely accidentally skipped ahead here to some very advanced stuff more than I should do. Let's head back upstairs and see if we can just kick flipping malphas out of the house. Oh, yeah. Some really bloody creepy stuff here. Old kind of Greek mask for Greek theatre. Father might have had some peculiar taste in decorating, but he wouldn't keep decapitated statues. I don't know, a man who collects keys that have no keyholes, that's an odd chap. And up here, a portrait. In remembrance of our discoveries and of hard-working sleepless nights, this forest will miss you. Anton Elias, the priest that Annie worked with. Okay, a note. Anton, the name does... Yes, it does! You've read the note, Abigail. You are the worst at solving mysteries. He might have answers for me. The woods are behind the manor. I should follow this lead. Okay. So the Eldwitch Forest is now accessible, located east of the manor. It's possible to come back to the manor at any time simply by going there or clicking on the map. Okay, so I've got a few leads. I've got the stone fields underneath the mansion. I've got the priest himself, Anton Elias, who I know helped Annie out, who potentially is going to be in the forest, and I could follow him out that way. So exploring the house, I've found my way to a photography lab upstairs. I've kind of gone up here and found my way to a little photography lab, including a weird thing, a wibbly wibble. Now, what it says here is it's a torn picture of a cottage. Now, just outside this photography lab, I think I saw something that might be relevant to that, which is there was a, if I look here, this looks like might be the other half of that photo. If I go into this here, bring this over here, can I read, is this the right thing? Hello, can I complete the, aha. One completed photo of a cottage. Perfect. So now, it looks like I'm able to go into this in some way. Before I do that, let's see if I can figure out anything else from this room here, because there's some important glowy stuff. Some notes written in a hurry on the desk. So, Eureka, things to try. Is the photographer the only one who can cast the spell? Is the soul bound? What projection for the photographer landscape? Copied memory? Oh dear, yes, some very, very scribbled rapid notes here. Additional questions. What is the link with the human branch of Goetia? If one can enter and leave a photograph, is the same true of an object? What about soul projection returning to one's own body? Need to study this with Mother. Is the photograph a gateway to an existing place? Does the spell create a new place? Need to test with a montage. I'm sure that's a photography thing, but I just like to think of it that just means, you know what? This is going to take some testing, but it will go faster if we just do a Rocky-style montage. Now, if a new autonomous, immutable universe is created, the implications are unimaginable. Yes, if you could just create a new universe by taking a photo, that would indeed have implications. In and out of a picture, an autonomous and unalterable universe. I was expecting a guide on developing photos. This doesn't make any sense. I don't like this. The room might have a few more secrets to learn. I'd rather not stay here any longer than I have to. No, we're going into the photo to create the immutable and unalterable universe or whatever. Into the photo we just completed. We go. What on earth has happened? I don't see any colours anymore. It's all black and white, like a photograph. It doesn't make any sense. I need to get out. No, we're not going out. We're investigating. I think what we found here is the past. Okay, so where the hell am I now? I'm in the Silver Labyrinth. So, Gabriel Hodgkin from the 2nd of February, 1940. The music's gone a bit weird, by the way, because I'm in the weird alternate universe whatever. So my oldest son, Gabriel, was obsessed with the idea of, manifesting and taking over objects. The soul being projected into an object, just like I do with objects. But he was obsessed with doing it with photos. Taking a photo and sending his soul into it. But there was a risk he might get lost, which I'm guessing might well be what indeed happened. I can travel inside the pictures to get to different locations, I see. Let's go into the forest photo. And now I'm in, am I still in the... No, I'm still in the Silver Labyrinth. I'm just in this maze of interconnected places. So my eldest son, Gabriel, did all these experiments into alternate universes and whatnot. Okay, and yeah, there's an entire section, the whole world buried inside that photograph, linked by other photographs called the Silver Labyrinth. Right, let's leave that for now. Instead, finish off trying to find bloody Malphas and kick him out of my bloody house. And another crucial note here, my dearest son, Gabriel possibly? Or Gabriel or Alexander, both of them seem to have rebelled against their mother Annie. I'm saddened to have fallen so low in your esteem. The notes you stole are important, true, but I don't need them anymore. I suppose you hid them in your flat in the village, or that you gave them to that Stanford girl. May they teach you something. We'll have an opportunity to talk about your misdeed, you can be sure of it. And that has unlocked the final little section that I could now go to. The village itself. In a note I found on the pool table, Annie wrote to Alexander, her second son. She mentioned secret research and a third party, Stanford. It all leads to Oakmarsh. I should be able to investigate without much difficulty. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've explored all of the rooms that have become available ever since we kind of cleared out the little barrier of Malphas, but no sign of him. The quest log indicates he's gone and dealt with, but I'm not sure I necessarily believe that in the slightest. The game made a big deal of how I should remember what his little counter-sigil thing looked like, yet I never had to use it. So I think he'll be back yet. I think he's a tricksy one indeed. But I think I've just kind of completed what's kind of like the first act, if you like, then. 'Cause if we go over to the map that we found in the hallway, Malphas may have been cleared out, but we've also opened up all 4 of the other worlds. Now, pretty much, as far as I can tell, it's pretty much open to do in any order you want. I could head over to the village of Oakmarsh, try and figure out what the secret research that was stolen from Annie was, down into the fields of stone, which appears to be just like secret research, possibly connected to my death, given there was my little memorial by the entrance to it, I'm not sure. Eldritch Forest, where I need to chase up the priest that Annie was working with and figure out what he knows, and the Silver Labyrinth, which one of Annie's sons, Gabriel, was experimenting on photos within photos. And I'm guessing each one of those probably will give you the sigil that will let you access a different one of these little gods' rooms and figure out how to either work with or get rid of them. But yes, it's really rather interesting, and I think I will leave this off here as a result of that. This is Goetia. This, I believe, came out possibly today. I think it comes out actually today. I will put a link in the description below. So if you're into like really old school kind of point and clicky adventures, but quite a pretty little point and clicky adventure with the fun twist of being a ghost and possession, having to kind of deal with the demons and whatnot, it's quite fun. It's an interesting little thing. I've quite enjoyed playing with this. And it's actually nice for once that a game isn't like just kind of simplifying everything down to utter ridiculously stupid basics. The game is like totally happy to say, by the way, there's a ridiculous ton of backstory here, and you're going to bloody read it, and you're going to understand it, and you're going to piece it together yourself. You're not being spoon-fed here. Get on with it. I like a game that does that. That was the problem with Murder Soul Suspect. Everything was too ridiculously simplified and it wasn't complex enough. This has got some real interesting depth and complexity and like family drama to it, which I do quite like. And some proper puzzles. Proper puzzles you actually have to solve for yourself. Thank bloody goodness for that as well. So yes, Goetia. I think it's actually pretty good, actually. You know what? I do actually enjoy little mystery puzzle games. I should do more of them. So maybe more of this sort of thing in the future, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been the really rather entertaining Goetia. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I just found a laundry room, also a chainsaw, for those particularly stubborn stains. Am I going to hipster heaven? Is there going to be infinite granola? Wait, I've got a ghost fedora? Did I just collect a giant ghost water heater? Food please, I'm a cat. Find out if Iris is safe. I'm gonna be honest, I've kind of failed that one.